Welcome back to the Illustrator Podcast, episode 41. This week we are ranking the Attitude Era belts that includes the scratch and the beautiful, also beautiful block logo. But with me this week, like every single week, KOL Fan 93, and go ahead and introduce our co-host this week.
What is going on, you guys? It is KOL Fan 93 back here with Max Revere at the Over the Shoulder podcast. And today we've got a very special guest joining us. This is one of my closest friends in this hobby. He has become a brother of mine through belts and brothers, booze and travels. Let me tell you guys, this is one of the most top-notch people in this hobby. It's Jamie Gilbert, co-admin over at Belt Addicts Anonymous, my top dog. Jamie, go ahead and introduce yourself.
How's it going, guys? Max, thank you very much for this opportunity to come on the chat again, the video. You do great work. It's awesome. Casey, thank you also for inviting me. It's fantastic. Really glad to be here. This is going to be absolutely awesome.
Well, for sure, glad to have you back on. You've been on before, but I believe this is your first rankings video. So for everyone who hasn't been on before, watched this before, I'll explain how it goes quickly. So basically, I have all the belts there you can see lined out, 13 belts. These are all the Attitude Era belts, the block logo and the scratch logos. Ranking one being the best, 5 being complete dog shit. We'll give our opinions, we'll go through it one by one, and then we'll rank it, and then whoever wins majority rules will rank it properly. I'll start off with the block logo Big Eagle blue strap. Now, I absolutely love this version. This is my favorite version of the Big Eagle. I've said it before, and I'll keep on saying this several times in this video. I love the block logo with a passion. I think it looks way better on every single belt. I think it looks prestigious. It fits the championship. When you see a championship, you don't want some logo that looks scratched on by a toddler. You want a proper logo, and that represents it perfectly, and I love it very much. The blue strap thing complements the globe. This is like the first time in a while, first major title that had a colored strap as the world championship. Not, just wearing the big green. It's for another day. But this one, very big change because they had black straps for the longest time. So not very traditional, but I really love the design, love the eagle, love the size. I'm going with a 1 for this. I love this both. Casey, what do you think?
And how can you not love this belt? I've never come across anybody that had anything bad to say about this, really. It's absolutely beautiful belt, a great successor to the Winged Eagle, especially when it first came out, and that blue it popped so well. The promotional photos of Stone Cold Steve Austin holding that thing, that belt is an absolute beauty. I've got to put it up there at a 1 myself, right there with you.
Jamie, what do you think about this belt, and where would you rank it?
So, obviously, so growing up, being a WWF guy, I absolutely loved the Winged Eagle, and when this Big Eagle, it holds a huge place in my heart. Like that belt, when it was introduced, I was ecstatic. I thought, like, it was time for a new belt, and even though I liked the Winged Eagle, when they came out with this, I was just absolutely thrilled. I thought it was one of the best belts that they ever made, and as far as replicas go, I'm hoping to get the one from Shop eventually. Obviously, it won't have the black WWF logo, but obviously, it is what it is. Like I said, the blue strap, fantastic. I loved that the fact that all of the plates were a lot bigger. And for that time, to probably somewhat compete with the World Heavyweight Championship, that's probably one reason why they went with bigger plates. Absolutely loved it. Love it. Number 1 for me.
Unanimous decision, number 1. Now, moving on to its successor, the scratch logo Big Eagle. I'm not a huge fan. I like the all gold version. This is like the white logo version. I don't like the white logo version at all. It looks so off. It's the logo just on the block look blends in perfectly with the design. It stands out, but not too much. The white just stands out like a sword. That's not it for me. That's going to a 3 easily for me. The gold logo version, not as bad. That's also going. I could go for a 2, but probably a 3. Casey, what do you think?
I mean, I have to respectfully disagree with you on some of the aspects here. Obviously, 2001 being my favorite year of all time in WWF, WWE history. And I think I can speak for a vast majority of at least the belt collecting community whenever I could say that between the block logo and the scratch logo, we don't really have a preference. It's just an overall love for the Big Eagle. You're going to have people that prefer it either way, but overall, it's a very treasured design. And the scratch logo, yeah, it doesn't look as prestigious as its block logo predecessor, but for me at least, it just hits home because it speaks 2001. I see that. It takes me back to what I love about pro wrestling, what made me become a super fan. Seeing this on the likes of Triple H, seeing this on the likes of Stone Cold Steve Austin, Chris Jericho there at the end, Triple H there at the end. Uh, I don't know. This belt just does it for me. I'm not going to put it up there with the block logo, but it's definitely going to sit right pretty below it at a number 2.
Jamie, what do you think?
So I it's tough. It's tough because like the transitioning from, you know, the old generation to the Attitude Era, it I wasn't really at first I didn't take much of a liking to it because I'm old school. Um, and as far as the different changes that they made from this belt to the one with the block logo, I wasn't really disappointed with the changes by any means, but um, I don't think it's a bad belt. It definitely has a lot of prestige for sure. A lot of guys, you know, holding it and everything like that, which will help it definitely, you know, move it up there on the list. I'm. It's not my It's not my favorite belt. I'm going to put it at 3.
And Casey, where did you rank it?
2.
Sorry, majority rules going to a 3. That's smashing. I was telling you earlier. Now let's move on to the block logo tags. Now, Casey, this is the version that I have on the screen. Isn't the actual version that we're talking about? If you want to pull up the photo that we want to talk about, we actually showed it right before we started filming. Do you want to show the photo of the proper
Yeah,
version?
so this is a design that not a lot of people are aware of. I'm going to be showing you this through my phone screen, so sorry if it is just dog shit ranking 5 quality, like United Belt Brothers. Yeah, big shout out right there. Fuck you guys. So this is the first JMAR tag. This is the exact same layout as the Attitude Scratch logo tag, which we'll talk about here in just a little bit, but it's got the block logo. And I really, really prefer this version, and I think Max was a little caught off guard with it too, and I think he might have fell for it. So here it is, you guys, the JMAR block logo Attitude tag. You see there, it's got the block logos on the side plates in the black circles, and then we've got, you can't really tell there, but it is a block logo, WWF right there with a gold background, so no paint behind that. So exact same as your scratch logo, just swap it out with block logos.
And wow, what a difference that makes. Chef's Kiss, I love that. And like you said, not many people know that version, me included, the first time I saw it, and wow, I love that version. Just shows how much of a difference that block logo can make to elevate a design. That just looks beautiful. That went straight to 1 in my mind. Like I love the dual plated version. That was probably one of my favorite versions. But that one is ranked for the classic tags. We're talking about the Bulldogs, the all gold, the dual plated, the Attitude Era, and now those. that climbed up to 1 or 2 on there very quickly, and I really love it. Me at the 1 easily. Casey, what do you think?
Man, ditto, straight up. I can already forewarn you that this is going to tie the attitude tag for me because you guys have heard me talk over and over and over again about how much I love the scratch logo attitude tag. But right there with you, every time you lay eyes on this thing, it's an instant 1. It's an absolute beauty. The block logo sits so perfectly. There's no flaws with this belt. It's absolutely wonderful. I wouldn't change a damn thing, not even at a property plate. It's a 1 for me, dog. Straight up, no questions asked.
Jamie, what do you think of this version of the tag belt?
Sorry about that. The blocked logo tag team championship belt is by far. I grew up loving tag team wrestling, and these titles have a big place in my heart, and I absolutely loved the different designs that they did of the block logo throughout the years, and I never thought they looked terrible in any way, shape or form. It looked like a real, tag team championship belt. As far as we'll get into the attitude side. I never knew that there was a Jmar block logo tag title. That was the first time I ever have seen that, Casey. Did not know that even exists. What was it on TV? Did they use that on TV?
Yeah, it was on TV the night after WrestleMania. Was at 14 in 1998. They debuted.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna put it up there as a 1 for me.
Yeah, that's such a beautiful version.
Might throw an asterisk there because that might not have been the night after WrestleMania 14. It might have been later on in the year, but it was 1998, and they were gone by the fall of '99.
So shortly lived, unfortunately.
Kind of like
yeah. Then replaced by this belt, I guess if you want to call it that. It's such a downgrade. I mean, we're talking about downgrade. This is a huge downgrade. That beautiful design, and then they slap that stupid scratch logo on there. Doesn't even fit the design properly. They added a black background, not it. And then on the side place, it just looks cartoonish. It looks comedic. It's ridiculous. It looks horrible. For me, it downgraded design so much, easily 4 for me. I just, 3, I'll get, for Casey's sake, I can go for a low 3, but realistically, I'm going for a 4. I hate that logo on that belt. Casey, would you agree with me?
Now, let me tell you something, sir. I want you to look at it. I've told you over and over again, I want you to look at it. Look at the logo. Live it. Feel it. Oh, God, experience it, King. This is another one of those, how could you not love it? It is from the greatest point in WWE history, the greatest period of storytelling, mixing real life and kayfabe. It is the Attitude Era. The scratch logo, the block logo, they are a beautiful, wonderful tie. It's a 1 for me. I love it. Look at it.
Yeah, no, not it. Jamie, what do you think of this belt?
This title was a major disappointment for me. I thought that them just like I feel like when they decided to come out with this belt, it was rushed. I in my opinion, it was just rushed. There was no real thought into it. They only did a little bit of changing to from the block logo um, it made everything smaller, and I'm not really a fan. I mean, I like my replica, but I'm not a fan. I'm really not a fan. So, unfortunately, will be a 4 for me.
Oh, Casey.
Who are you people?
I was trying to be nice and give you 3, but with Jamie's speech, I'm going with the 4 as well. And
I
I
don't
agree
want
with
to
that.
live on this planet anymore.
I couldn't have described it any better. He literally described point by point exactly what's wrong with this belt, and beautifully said, Jamie. Um, now let's move on to the oval IC, the purple version with the block logo. I've talked about it before. I'm not a huge fan of the oval IC, but if I had to own one version, which not official right now, hopefully they do release this in the future. But if I had to own one of the versions of the oval ICs, it would definitely be the block logo, of course, on the purple strap. I love the purple strap. It's a dark purple strap. Towards the end of it, it was more like a black, and because it was beat to shit. But I love the logo. I love that logo. Look at that logo plate. Just look at the damn logo plate. That is what you call a logo plate. You can't do that with a scratch logo. It's a little flimsy W's and looks like a little twig. You can't do that with a scratch logo. You can do that with a block logo. How it's sticking out. Beautiful logo. Love it. But it's still an oval IC. So that does put it down a bit. I'll give it a 3. Casey, what do you think? No. I'll give it a 2. I'll give it a low 2.
I just don't understand. I'll never understand it, Max. You're such a bright, intelligent human being. But yet, the greatest of all of the greats, of the greatest era of all time, you just don't seem to appreciate them.
Look, I can appreciate all of the story behind the history behind it, but aesthetically, design wise, let's be real.
Let me tell you something. I'm going to call Teddy Long, and I'm going to put you in a Hell in a Cell match with The Undertaker. But in all seriousness, you know, I'm a big fan of the Oval IC. Strictly because it's the Attitude Era. Anytime the Attitude Era is attached to it, I'm gonna love it. I do absolutely love the purple block logo. I prefer it so much over the scratch. Rumor mill says there's a replica coming of it, so let's get that thing out there because I really want one. Yeah, it's I'm not gonna throw a 1 there because I'm not just gonna sit there and give 1s to every bit of the Attitude Era, but definitely gonna put it in a 2, and it's pretty high too.
Okay. Jamie, what do you think?
So when this belt was introduced, I was pretty excited. I mean, don't get me wrong, I loved the block logo Reggie IC. Thought it was fantastic belt. As far as this belt goes, when they introduced this belt, especially with the purple strap and the block logo, like I was just in awe. I thought it was absolutely one of the best IC belts that, looking at it now, was ever made. I don't think that I don't think it was rushed very much, unlike the tag belt. So it's definitely going to be up, higher on the list. I'm going to put it at a 2.
Okay. Yeah, decision 2. I think it's a solid ranking for the block logo oval IC. Now, it's a different story for the scratch logo IC. Major downgrade. Come on now. Scratch logo. Black strap. It's fine. Doesn't hit as nice as the dark purple though. Scratch logo. You lose that beautiful property plate. It doesn't look like. It just doesn't look. We talked about it before. The IC is it should be the title you win before you go for the world title, and this does not scream. This screams mid card. This screams mid card, and you're stuck in mid card forever. The most mid card ever. The Oval IC is such a mid-card belt, and there's nothing wrong with it. But the IC used to be the classic IC. I love the design because it could be a world championship. Remove Intercontinental, that's a world championship easily. This looks like a mid card championship. Nothing screams more mid card than the scratch logo. I'm thinking it's a 3 or 4. Low 3, high 4. Casey, what do you think?
I mean, my love for Attitude Era doesn't always stretch too far. I've always been a fan of the scratch logo Oval IC, but that was mainly because of the nostalgia attached with, folks like Kane, Jericho, Jeff Hardy, Benoit. Yeah, I said it. I don't care. Some great matches held in the Attitude Era for the Intercontinental title. I know we're going strictly off design, but this is where my bias does kick in with the Attitude Era. I can't say anything bad about this belt. I mean, I obviously prefer the block logo. The purple strap also pops a lot more than the black strap. One thing I do prefer about the strap on the scratch logo version is the scratch logo being tooled into the leather. I think that the block logo being tooled in would have actually been a pretty interesting thing to see on those colored straps as well. I'm going to give this thing a 3, and it's a high 3. I still love it, absolutely, but I can't put it up there with the purple version because apples to oranges, man.
Jamie, what do you think?
Yeah, for me, I'm not a fan of this belt. You know, I like the block logo better. I'm just was not excited about it, and it's like you said, Max. It screams mid card, and definitely had a problem with that for sure. Because you always knew it, especially with the blocked logo Reggie, you were like the next step, whereas this does not. This belt is not in that category at all, which I think is a major disappointment. As far as it being used on TV and stuff like that, I definitely thought it, like the color contrast and everything, it didn't work. I didn't think it looked very good on TV. I am giving this a 4.
Ooh. I'll agree with you, Jamie. Sorry, Casey. That goes with the takes. Now, let's talk about the block logo European. I really like this version. It's grown on me a lot. When I first saw the European, I wasn't a big fan, and that's because I saw the scratch logo version first, and that turned me off from it. But I was enlightened. I saw the block logo on the green strap, and I really loved it. It really made me appreciate it more. Now, we'll talk about the scratch logo after, but now I see when I think of European Championship, I think of the scratch of the block logo. I've erased the scratch logo from my head. I don't think about the design anymore. Love the green strap. Love the red logo. It pops. Beautiful. The red behind the block logo pops beautifully. Love all the color on the main plate with all the flags, the red banner, the blue globe. Probably putting this at, but I'm not a huge fan of the shape. It's not horrible. I just not the biggest fan of the shape, so it's not bad though. I wouldn't see myself owning this, to be honest, but it's a decent belt. I put it at a 3. Casey, what do you think?
So what a lot of people may not realize is this is actually the first, I guess, Attitude Era belt to feature the block logo that was ever released. In the fall of 1997, there, light heavyweight shortly following. But this is another one of those, like, just how can you not love that design? The block logo makes that belt pop so much more, and I don't understand why WWE Shop put the scratch logo version, the gold logo version, at that, because that was such a short-lived design. I'm not really sure why they released that version instead of the block logo. Even with the Legends logo, it would still look good. It's that ratio of gold to red.
Mm.
That's what it is, and it can really make or break the belt in its entirety. But I do have to say that the block logo goes so much further than the scratch logo, bar none. Like, it is, you just, I'm speechless. Like I love this belt. I absolutely love it. It's amazing. Get a freaking replica made, WWE Shop. We need this thing. I love it. It's a solid one.
Nice. Jamie, what do you think?
When this belt was introduced, I believe it was at so I think it was called One Night Only. Is that right? The UK pay per view? I think that's what it was called. I think. But anyways, love this belt. I was definitely really excited when it was introduced. Um, I thought the design, they did a great job. Everything as far as the all the design of everything and meshes very well together. Uh, one of my favorite belts. I'm going to give this a 2.
I can bump up to a 2. It's respectable 2. Yeah, I'd say it's on par with the level I see. Block level I see. Now let's move on to the scratch level version. This is a downgrade for me. Just don't like it as much. The scratch logo to me doesn't fit in there nicely. Low 3, high 4. Casey, what do you think?
I mean, there's so many versions of it. You can pick and choose which ones you like and don't like. Overall, I still love this design. If I had to pick one, I'd definitely have to go with the later version with the white logo and the white text. God, the flags changed so many different times. So many different times. I'm pretty sure there were like South American countries that wound up on there at some point. I don't even know how the hell they did it, but scratch logo version, it seems like they were just all over the place with it. The design didn't stay the same overall, like I just said. I can't rate it higher than a 4. As much as I love this belt, the scratch logo version doesn't hold a candle to the block logo.
Wow, surprised to hear that. Jamie, what do you think?
Yeah, not a fan. Like my replica, but I'm just not a fan of this belt. I like Casey said, all the different modifications and things that were done. I think definitely plays a factor in why I definitely don't like the belt. Obviously, WWE did not like the belt themselves because with all the changes that they made to it, I'm giving this a 4.
Unanimous 4. Surprised. I mean, I knew I hated the bullet scratch, but I know you guys really like this too. Kind of makes me see hope for the future of the belt community. Now let's move on to the light heavyweights. I'll start off with the lesser of the two evils, the block logo. This is not bad, okay? Block logo, nice. Actually has some color, so it doesn't like blend into like a plain wall. My plain wall on my side here is more interesting than the brick wall. We'll get to that later. But that red strap pops nicely. The backing, wonderful. The nice yellow hint on the logos looks great. I don't mind this one. It's not bad. It adds to it. It's a plain design, but it has nice color. It has a nice strap. It adds to it. It brings it together. It makes it a decent belt. I'm giving this a 3. Casey, what do you think?
So here we are. Here we are again, ladies and gentlemen. The Light Heavyweight Championship. Where do I even begin? The block logo, red strap, yellow logos, yellow banners on the side plates. That it popped so well. Such an underrated design, in my opinion. I'm very surprised we have not seen a replica of this. Why have we not seen a replica of this yet, WWE Shop? Come on. If you're going to release a light heavyweight title, I guarantee you more people are going to flock to that version of it because, I mean, it's a colored strap. Everybody likes a colored strap. No, light heavyweight title, I'm a huge, huge fan. However, the block logo is just not the one that does it for me. So, still as much as I love it, block logo gets a 2.
Okay. Jamie, what do you think?
Absolutely love this belt. When it was introduced, I was like, man, about time. About time. Especially, WWE at the time, they needed a different title, for the smaller guys to kind of compete, because you knew that they weren't gonna, wrestle for the IC or whatever. So they needed a belt to compete for sure, with WCW as far as their cruiserweight championship belt goes. And um, absolutely in love with the red strap version. Great belt. As far as design, like I do think though that I don't mind the simpleness of this belt, but at the same time, there isn't a whole lot going on, and it kind of, I'm on the fence with design. Um, so I think they could have did a little bit more. I don't think they really put a whole lot of thought into some of this stuff when it came to this belt. So I still one of my favorites. I do like I said, I do like the simple design. So I'm gonna give this a 2.
All right, 2 for the block level light heavyweight championship. Now, before we move on to this next one, I do think I have to change the background to match the theme more fitting.
God! My God!
I think this background makes more sense for this coming belt. Okay, you see this piece of shit behind me. Now let's talk about the piece of shit on the screen. The scratch logo, light heavyweight. Oof, where do I start? I have never seen such a plain, boring, unenthusiastic, just bland belt. Like, wow, what a difference a strap and a logo can make. Like, it is actually sad. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of these belts. Let me remember back up just to show you guys. It reminds me of those custom belts that you can get. These. This is what it reminds me of. This is exactly what it reminds me of. It's uh it's horrible. Well, let's talk about the logo. Logo, dog shit. Strap, back to black. It's already a plain design. The only thing that made the block look nice was the beautiful logo with the color and the nice red vibrant strap, the gray backing. It had things going for it. The plates were simple, yes, but they added to it to make it a more complete belt. This has nothing going for it. The strap, boring. The tooling, boring. The plates, boring. It looks like a mirror. It looks like a shield. It's flat. It's tiny. The size is weird. The main plate is too small. And I know it's a cruiser, but I'm just talking about the sizing. The side plates are like either too big or the main plate's too big or too small. The sizing's off. 5. 5, 5, 5. Casey.
Well.
Join the light side. Join the right side.
I don't know. What do you think? No, I'm good. As always, how dare you? And for another thing, how dare you? And God, I understand why you don't like this thing. But one thing I'm going to do eventually is I'm going to convince you. And I am going to at least open your eyes so you can see why I love it. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages in YouTube land and everywhere out there where radio waves are floating through space, boy, oh boy, do I love the Scratch Logo Light Heavyweight Championship. As you see, I've got one of these beauties sitting over my right shoulder. So many people, like Max, right there, he's just leaning back in that chair. Oh, Casey, you're such an idiot. Well, you know what?
Such a mark.
This belt is proof that sometimes simplicity can be the most beautiful thing because it's a very simple design, but it works so well. This is my favorite belt design of all time, from the shield side plates, yellow banners, the property plate. I mean, yeah, it is what it is. It's the basic property plate from all of the Attitude Era. I mean, I had to obviously install one on mine. uh, Not a single bad thing in the world I can say about this belt. So many great things. I love every bit of it. It represented the light heavyweight division perfectly. And if I could go higher than a 1, I would do that. But since we can't here on the Over the Shoulder podcast, it is going in the number 1
Oh
spot.
my god. See, you're disrespecting everyone who competed in the light heavyweight division, saying that that represents it perfectly. Like, there's no need to disrespect them. Jamie, what do you think about this belt? Honestly.
Belt is fantastic. I absolutely 100%
Oh,
love this
no
belt.
way.
Yes. Um, I I words can't even describe how much I like this version of this belt. Um, I just think it's just a fantastic title, and I wish they were still using it. Yeah, obviously, in a sense. I think it. Yeah, just agree. Like I said, I can't even express how much I love this belt, and but still, based on the it being just real simple and all that, I'm not going to put it at a 1. I'm going to give it a 2.
Okay, so we've come to the first big dilemma of this podcast. I don't think it's ever been this drastic, though. I'm at a 5. Casey's at a 1. Jamie's at a 2. I
It's a
can go
great.
to a.
It
Can you
is.
at least meet in the middle of the spectrum? Since I'm at one end, you're at the other, and Jamie's closer to my end of the spectrum, can we just put it at a 2?
Democracy wins, unfortunately. I'll respect that. I don't respect this belt. Let me get that straight. Not
You
this
said
belt,
democracy wins.
but democracy wins. I have to stick to my word. I can't be a hypocrite and make up my own rules. I must stick to the rules. So, unfortunately, um, I don't want to talk about it. Let's move on to the Smoking Skull Championship. This is it's a good belt. I think it's one of the best custom championships. Definitely. Well, just regarding the Andre, I don't know if I want to consider that a custom belt because I don't know. Well, that's a different topic for another day. But this is one of my favorite custom belts. It screams Stone Cold. You look at it, it's Stone Cold. Nobody can hold this other than Stone Cold. This is his belt. The design is great. For once, the scratch level looks good. For once, who would have thought? It looks great in this design. It just screams Attitude Era. Look, Casey, I don't hate the Attitude Era. Might look like I'm hating on it because I hate the scratch logo and hate a lot of their belts, but this screams Attitude Era. It looks wonderful. The strap is simple, but then they have the backing, which adds to it. The beautiful snakeskin backing adds to it. Oh, love it. I'm putting this at a 2. High 2. I really do like this design. I prefer the silver version or the nickel version, but I do understand why they use the gold version on TV. It makes sense as a world championship. Yes, it should be gold, but aesthetically, I prefer the silver. That being said, this goes at a number 2 for me. Casey, what do you think of the Smoking Skull?
Everybody loves the Smoking Skull. It's an amazing custom belt, like you were saying. It represented Steve Austin more than perfectly. Gold version, nickel version, whichever version you want to look at, they're both equally great in my opinion. Amazing replicas, whether you get the WWE Shop version, excluding the 2mm WWE Shop version, not to be confused with the 2mm Figs version,
Yeah.
not to be confused with the Figs version, but it's a great belt. I love it. I think that's a unanimous, decision right there. I think everybody loves this belt, and I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to definitely put that at a high two myself.
Great. Jamie, what do you think?
So I was and still am a massive Stone Cold Steve Austin fan. That is one of the biggest reasons I went to Mania this year to see him fight KO. And the nostalgia and just the, him having his own belt was it's something that you didn't see since Hogan, when he had his version, the Hogan 86. That was his belt. It didn't go to anybody else. That was his belt, um, and the design of the Smoking Skull belt, absolutely amazing. It fits Steve Austin very, very well. All the barbed wire around the center plate, side plates, loved it. Loved the smoke coming from the skull. I thought it made the belt pop more with that red logo. Absolutely amazing. I'm giving this a 1.
Nice. Well, I respect your 1, but unfortunately, democracy. Put it number 2 next to the belt. Jeez. Okay, let's move on to the women's championship. Fuck this belt. Okay, listen. Too many people are giving this belt too much respect. This belt sucks. This does not represent women's championship at all. You talk about lazy. This is peak JMR laziness. Okay, the design. We talked about Smoking Skull. It's literally they grab the Smoking Skull main plate. They're like, oh, that's pretty cool. Let's rip off everything's Smoking Skull about it. Keep the same shape. Keep the barbed wire for some reason because the women's championship needs barbed wire for some reason. Slap some shitty it's almost like torn paper. Just put women's championship like an oval because we need more ovals in the world. We don't have enough of the oval IC. Throw on the logo. It does not look good. It just does not. The side plates are lazy too. This does not scream women's championship at all. The only reason you know it's a women's championship is it's tiny. It says women's. 5. Nope. Lazy, lazy, lazy. Casey, what do you think?
Max, I think we talked about this in one of our more recent episodes. I know I definitely mentioned it on the last one. Just what the hell is this belt? My love for the Attitude Era can't even defend this, really. You see, I've got one sitting right here. It's the damn Smoking Skull plate. It's like a kid-sized Smoking Skull main plate. But no, like Max said, let's just throw something that looks like it's shredded on there. And then let's put women's champion in the shape of a damn football. We've got Hey Arnold rocking this women's championship here. And, come on, do something more original. I might get the color wrong, but it's kind of a pinkish strap version that Alundra Blaze held. Looked
Yes,
much more prestigious. That didn't scream women's championship. That screamed women's world championship. Women's world championship.
Exactly.
This screams bra and panties matches. This screams Santa's Little Helper matches. This screams Trish Stratus barking like a dog. And honestly, if you ask me, this also smells like an NDA. So, not too many good things I can say about this belt. You got a big fat whopping 5 for me on this one.
Yep. Jamie, what do you think about this women's belt?
Belt is a disgrace.
Yeah.
Disgrace for women's wrestling. There was no thought into the making of this belt. It was lazy. It's just absolute trash. Not a fan. I'm giving this a 5.
Wonderful. put it in its rightful spot at number 5. See, too many people are blinded by nostalgia and they're like, I love this belt. I love. Okay, you can love the idea. Okay, the women's division. The only thing good about the women's division was Trish Stratus and Lita. Okay, there wasn't much substance in that women's division. Okay, let's be completely honest. Okay, because this is another topic for another day. But a lot of people, not you, Casey, romanticize the Attitude Era a little too much. Okay, don't get me wrong. A lot of
No,
respect for the
I
Attitude Era,
definitely do romanticize it too much. I fucking live for the Attitude Era. Damn it! Look,
but
look
there's
over my
some.
shoulder.
Okay, you include. There are some people that take it to an extreme and they're blinded by it and they love every single thing about it, including this women's champion. Like, come on, open your eyes. So if they release this today, you would really love this belt. You wouldn't. Okay, just stop lying to yourselves. Let's move on to the Hardcore Championship. I think it's cool. I mean, it fits the design, and a lot of people hate this belt because it's a broken winged eagle. But fuck it, I love the winged eagle. It fits it perfectly. It's hardcore. It's just a broken belt, and that's exactly what it should be. It doesn't have to be prestigious. And that contradicting what I say always. I'm always like prestigious, quality, beautiful belts. But it's a hardcore championship. It doesn't need to be. It's supposed to be thrown around, torn apart. This is exactly what it is. I think it fits the team perfectly. I'm putting it at a 3. Casey?
It's a hardcore championship. What a great concept. What a great, I guess you could say, gimmick. I mean, 24/7 rule, which birthed today's 24/7 championship, which does not hold a candle to this at all. Man, Crash Holly, Mankind, Al Snow, Kane, Big Show, Raven, Maven, Hardcore Holly, Molly Holly. I could keep going on and on and on. Such a huge list of champions thanks to the 24/7 rule. Broken up Winged Eagle. You know, for so many years, everybody thought this was the Mr. Perfect versus the Hammer version. Dan McMahon confirming in a video several years back that it indeed was not. So, to all you people that actually thought that. But no, it fit it so well. The replicas, I mean, nowadays, yeah, they look really, really good and close to what was on TV. The one that's over my shoulder somewhere, probably out of frame. No, it's right there. Okay, that thing, it's great, but it's not even close. I got to put this at a 3 with you. I can't put it very high because,
Yeah.
I mean, it's still, nonetheless, it is a broken up championship belt with fucking duct tape on it. No matter how
Yeah.
great the idea was, it
You're
still does not look prestigious.
right. Jamie, what do you think?
When this belt was introduced, I think it definitely fit very well. For the time, for the gimmick, and again, I was a fan of the Winged Eagle, and for them to bring a form of that back, I thought was pretty cool. I can't really say too much as far as anything bad about it is. I mean, it's a hardcore belt. That is what it is. That's what it's for. It's made to be thrown around. It's not made, to look prestigious, in any way, shape, or form. Great idea, great belt. I'll give it a 3.
Perfect. And we finish it off with a unanimous 3. Now, this is the part where usually it's harder to rank. I know one category can be very difficult to rank, but let's start off with number 4. Or number 5 doesn't need to be ranked. The women's bottom of the barrel dog shit. Number 4. Do you guys want to switch up any orders? So the top of the rank would be the best of 4, and the bottom of the rank would be the worst of 4. For me, I'm okay with the current rankings. What do you guys think, though? Do you guys want to switch up any in order? Or
I like it how it is. I got to agree with you.
Jamie, what do you think?
I think it's perfect.
Yeah, and 3, I think we can agree the Big Eagle's better than the hardcore.
Absolutely.
Okay. I think we keep that. Now, number 2. I say, what would you guys put on your top of 2? I would say the Smoking Skull is top of 2, in my opinion.
Prestige wise, that
I'm just saying
Smoking Skull the Smoking Skull overall design. Smoking Skull needs to be at the front of that list.
Jamie.
The originality.
And then bottom list, I mean, it put itself there, you know. I think the rest of it's pretty good, to be honest. I mean, I'm okay with bumping up the red light heavyweight if you guys are, but other than that, I don't really see any other changes. What do you guys think?
No, I think it's good. I think it's good where it's at.
Casey? Don't even think about the last one.
Yeah, that last one, those last two need to swap.
Jamie?
I disagree.
Thank God. Okay, we'll
You
keep it
win
the
this
same.
round.
Oh, I was scared. All right, and the top of the list. I'm good with keeping it like that. I mean, I like both of them in different ways, but I'm pretty good with that. What do you guys think?
Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Jamie?
Yeah, I'm
All
good.
right.
I think
So
it's
those
good.
are our final rankings for the Attitude Era belts with the scratch logo and the block logo. Top of the tier is the block logo, Big Eagle on the blue strap, and the bottom of the tier, the scratch logo Women's Championship. Now that does bring us towards the end of the episode. Casey, my memory is just not it. Rough night last night. Not enough sleep, sleep deprived, hungry. How do we finish this episode?
Well, if my memory serves me correctly, and most of the time it actually does, I think this is the part of the podcast where we finish off with a belt over the shoulder.
I think so. That might be it. So, gentlemen, grab your belts for the over the shoulder section. I'll reveal mine at the end because it does have to do with next week's episode. As you guys see, I'm in Rob's room. Shout out to Rob, former co-host. I broke into his house. His beautiful collection, former collection, rest in peace collection.
Miss you,
If you guys
Rob.
want to buy any fake zinc, he still has a ton of them. Well, decent amount of fake zincs. Those ICs, I'm pretty sure he still has those ICs. Very rare. So if you do, hit him up on Belt Addicts Anonymous. If you're looking for any belts, actually, it's a perfect time to, shameless plug here. Belt Addicts Anonymous is a Facebook group. We're all from there. We're all admins there. Selling, trading, anything to do with belts, talking about belts. It's mostly official replicas, but it's also from boots. I mean, I start off with only boots, basically. But yeah, everyone's welcome there as long as you follow the rules. When you're joining the group, make sure to answer all the questions, or we won't let you in. Pretty much it. Jamie, what do you have over your shoulder, buddy?
This is a light heavyweight championship. Where's yours? Where?
Thankfully, I don't have the light heavyweight.
I can't see it. Oh, there it is. Woo!
Casey.
So
what do you got there?
Not the light heavyweight championship.
Okay.
It's close in design though. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, over my shoulder today we have a version 1 Figs Inc. United States Championship. But this is not just any version 1 Figures Inc. United States Championship, ladies and gentlemen. Nope. Ignore the autographs. It's a deluxe.
Ooh.
Straight from the collection of the aforementioned Rob Staniloff. Miss you, buddy. We've got it right there, COA number 86 of 1,000. So beautiful, rare piece that I just added to my collection. So show you guys one more time. A big fat deluxe.
Gorgeous. And that's 4mm or 2?
It is a 2mm.
Okay, nice. Now, for my over the shoulder, it does have to do with next week's episode. If you didn't see the hint, I am wearing an AEW hat and did get a Forbidden Door. But I have my AEW Tag Team Championship. Re-leather. Let me take off. Let me leave Rob's room for a second so you guys can see this belt. As you can see there, plates by Muhammad Lookman and re-leathered by Ryan Richards. Now, for next week, We're going to be ranking the current, all AEW championships. That includes the World Championship, all three versions of the women's, the tags, every single version of the TNT, from the unfinished version to the current one that Wardlow currently holds, the TBS, the All Atlantic, all the belts. We're going to be ranking those next week. So that being said, that does bring us to the end of the episode. Thank you guys so much for watching episode 41. We'll see you guys next episode when we rank the AEW championships.
Bye.